Okay, hey everybody, hello or welcome back to my YouTube channel. For today's video, I kind of wanted to show a part of a book that I'm currently reading. I just started reading. I'm 2% in to the book, and I'm currently reading, if I could make it to the title, I'm currently reading Politics in the English Language by George Orwell. I wanted to show an interesting part, or at least a part that I found interesting in the book, and kind of like show my understanding of the part of the book. Um, so yeah, we go back to the very first page, which I highlighted to make it more clear of the part that I'm talking about. I will read it. But an effect can become a cause, reinforcing the original cause and producing the same effect in an intensified form, and so on indefinitely. A man may take to drink because he feels himself to be a failure, and then failed all the more completely because he drinks. It is rather the same thing that is happening to the English language. It becomes ugly and inaccurate because our thoughts are foolish. But the slovenliness of our language makes it easier for us to have foolish thoughts. First, we can kind of start with his analogy, which is the drinking example, right? So he gives an example of a man who drinks, and the man drinks because he is failing, right? But because of the fact that he's drinking, it's causing him to be a failure, right? So it's saying that the cause is him drinking because he feels like he's a failure, but then the outcome, what comes out of that, is him failing because of the fact that he drinks, right? It's a cycle. It just goes from point A to point B back to point A, right? And you may wonder, how does that connect to the English language? How does George Orwell kind of try to connect that analogy to the English language, right? We can go here in this last line where it says, but the slovenliness of our own language, or of our language, makes it easier for us to have foolish thoughts, right? He's essentially arguing that the slovenliness, right? The slovenliness, I'm trying to put quotation marks, that the slovenliness of our language, right, makes it easier for us to have foolish thoughts, right? So the cause would be slovenliness of our language. The effect is foolish thoughts, right? So then this would show it would show a loop, essentially, right? Where sort of poor language like intensifies unclear thinking, and then vice versa. Because of the fact that we have unclear thinking, kind of then makes us use poor language because we have unclear thinking. So all in all, essentially his point is or the fact that language and our sort of thinking process, like us, our thoughts and language, are not separate. They kind of impact each other because the way that we think would affect the language that we use, right? If somebody thinks in a more smarter way, they would use more academic language. Like sloppy language leads to like unclear thinking, right? But then unclear thinking leads to more sloppy language. And then it just goes back and forth, right? Sloppy language makes unclear thinking, and then unclear thinking makes sloppy language. It's a whole cycle, it's a loop.